Oh, yeah. It's getting it fired up, man. We're getting it going around here, baby.
Me too, Jim. Me too.
What is going on, everybody? Good morning from Temple, Texas, Wendy says. What's up, Wendy? How are you?
What's up?
Tasha Mack in the house. Jim in the house. He's caffeinating. Yeah, I feel you, man.
What's up, Latasha? How
Mistress
you doing?
Mayhem 89 is here. Good morning, Mistress Mayhem 89.
How you doing?
Yeah, she said she just finished, Tasha said she just finished her tea. All right.
What a way to start off your morning.
Yeah, with a tea.
I am not a tea fan, man.
Oh, I love tea.
Do it.
I love it. Just I don't drink it like as a morning drink. That's coffee.
I do Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I know. That's what you.
It's everything fired up,
That's
right?
your blood type.
Yeah, man. Seriously,
Mountain Dew.
it is. It is.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have 8 kidney stones you're fighting right now.
One day, and that'll be the day that I quit drinking Mountain Dew. Yeah.
Right.
After that, I'll be like, all right,
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, they say those kidney stones are horrible.
Yeah.
I've never had one. Hope I don't ever.
So how was the rest of your
What's
day
up, Brad?
man?
Man, it was good. I had an unexpected blessing. On the 4th of July, I took a call to go show somebody a house,
Yeah.
And it was one of those where, it was like, I don't know if this is real, if this is legit. They want to see a house on the 4th of July.
Oh,
but
gotcha.
I'm like, I'll go ahead and do it.
Right, right.
And so I went, and man, when they called me yesterday and said, yeah, let's move forward on it. And I was like,
Wow.
that's awesome.
All right.
Yeah, because they're moving here from Houston.
Okay.
Hurston,
Okay.
as they say it there. Hurston.
Hurston, huh?
Yeah, but from Houston. They're moving here. So I'm very excited about helping them out. They're first-time buyers, too.
Okay.
So it was really cool. Yeah, it was a really nice blessing to get. So
Right.
It was a good day yesterday in general.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, so you're getting ready for your big trip now.
Yes, we are ready. 5 o'clock
uh,
tonight.
Yeah, so how many in a row are you doing here? You're going out on a tour, so to speak.
Yeah. So this is the first leg of the July tour. That's what I'm calling it because it's all pretty much just crunched into the weekends of July. But yeah, I leave out tonight, land in Columbus, Ohio, have a show or event tomorrow. I'm sorry. What is it? See, I don't even know what day it is. So Thursday is the event in London, Ohio.
Okay.
Then we'll pack up from there, load everybody up from what I hear, and then we head to Sauk Rapids, Minnesota, and then I'll fly back here and be here Saturday at noon. So.
Oh, wow. So you're going to fly to Ohio.
Yep.
And then you're going to fly from there to Minnesota.
No, we're going to drive.
Oh, you're driving?
Yeah.
Who's driving? You ain't got a car.
No, I mean, we're all apparently grouping up somehow.
You got a bus or something?
Yeah, I guess, man. I don't know.
Okay.
It's interesting.
No, it is interesting, man.
It's my first tour, so.
Man,
I saw their Facebook the other day. They had gotten like all the talent. All the crowd was outside waiting for the start of the show.
Yeah.
And next thing, you just see this helicopter come around, and all the talent got dropped off to the show by a helicopter.
That's cool, man.
Like, yeah.
Did they land and got out, or they repelled?
They landed and got out.
That'd be really cool if they repelled like
That
they
would have been.
SEAL Team 6 or some shit.
Right?
The Rangers coming in.
That would have been cool.
Yeah,
so.
but that's exciting, man. So, yeah, you'll be on like a tour bus or something with these guys.
Yeah, man. I have it's all
hanging out with all the talent and whatnot.
Yeah, it's exciting, absolutely, for sure.
Exciting,
it's also really cool because I'm gonna get to catch up with my mom and brother in Ohio. They're gonna come down to the event.
They're gonna come to the event.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours from my hometown in Michigan.
That is really cool.
So they're like, yeah, we'll come down and catch up and see the event. So that's gonna be cool. And then, man,
that's probably why she hadn't been answering me.
Right.
What's up, Joey? Good morning, man.
But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm nervous.
Hold on. Yes, Wendy, on the 15th, you can come to the show. Matter of fact, tomorrow and Thursday and Friday, if you're interested in coming in, I'll need some assistance because Rich is going to be gone.
Right.
So it'd be great to have some folks in here. Matter of fact, it'd be essential. If you want me to be here, to have some people come in too. So I'm going to encourage you to
trust me from experience. It's really hard to work it as a one-man show.
It's a little tricky to do it solo. I have done it. I don't like it. I'd rather take time off than do it solo.
Right?
To be honest with you, it's just not as fun. Man.
Every time that it's happened that one of us have been sick or something, and the opportunity. Yeah,
you can come tomorrow, Tasha. Absolutely, you can. Yeah. And so if you come in tomorrow, I think Bundy will be here. So we'll need a Thursday and Friday So if you're out there thinking, hey, I want to be on or whatever, reach out to me and let me know.
Right.
Because I'd love to have, some, a couple people in would be great. One at least, but a couple each day would be ideal. What's up, Tactical? How are you, man?
And I'll be here at the show within the show. I'll still join in on YouTube, of course.
Okay.
And comment. And
Yeah.
everything.
Well, I know you're going to be super busy hanging out with all your new, Star Wars.
Right. I'll
have
try.
time for us, Maybe like, I don't know, but you know what you should do?
Try and remember to show up here Monday when I'm back in town.
Here's a couple ideas, because clearly you're going to have some time between Ohio and Minnesota, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, there is some chance, I guess, you could be asleep the whole time.
Right.
But if you're not, might be cool for you to do little short video clips and send them to us with the talent.
Absolutely, man. We can do that for sure.
Talking about what you're doing and what they do and who they are and things like that. I think it'd be cool to see behind the scenes of kind of your journey.
I like it,
You know what I mean?
I like it.
So that'd be neat to have kind of a video diary.
For sure.
Of what's going on.
Yeah, man, we can work on something like that.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I think everybody'd have fun. Not too great this morning. Back flared up on me like, turkey's got a back flare up. See, this is what happens to us when we get old.
Well,
Yeah.
We did have some storms blow through the area, so he might have just been, feeling the weather.
It could be. Sometimes, sometimes the weather will do that. That's not a joke, man.
Since that lightning strike, maybe he has
weather. That could be it. It could be the lightning.
His body's like, no, PTSD.
Yeah, it just automatically recoils all day long.
Yeah, Wendy wants to come home and have a range day.
Okay.
Like when she gets off the road.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to set up a range day.
Well, that sounds fun. It depends on if his back's working. I don't know if his back's going to be working. And as long as there's no call for rain that day, I don't want to be near him if it's going to rain.
Right? Yeah.
No disrespect. I can't hang out with you on rainy days, Andy. I'm sorry, bro. I can't do it, man. It's too risky. Yeah, no. We can be friends on days with sunshine.
And he calls you up and he's like, hey, man, you want to hang out? You're like, hang on, let me check Weather Channel real quick. See
What's up, Tyler?
Is.
Tyler said it's from that lightning. Yeah, no, you're probably right. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get to some news you can use and see if there's anything here we care about. After nearly 2 decades, taking off your shoes is now a thing of the past at some U.S. airports.
Ooh, this is news for me.
Yeah, multiple news sources say TSA has sent an internal memo about testing the new policy and a soft launch at security checkpoints, some locations where shoes won't be needed to come off. Baltimore, Washington International, LaGuardia, LAX, Philly International, Fort Lauderdale International. That rule, of course, to take off your shoes was put back in place in 2006 when a guy named Richard Reed, known as the Shoe Bomber, tried to blow up a plane with explosives hidden in his shoes. So if you ever wondered why they did that, that's
right.
Why they did that. The reality is, and
I just got tired of all the stench.
No, I was going to say TSA has literally, to my knowledge, never stopped a single terrorist event.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, I don't think they've literally ever stopped anything like that.
Yeah.
Not saying they're not doing something. I'm just saying that it's not nearly as helpful maybe as you think, I guess. Now, I guess if nobody was ever there, people just show up with whatever. But Amazon Prime Day started. The retail giant is offering Amazon Prime members a lot of deals through the 11th on things. All the shit. It's everything. Consumer experts warn of price anchoring, where some sellers jack up prices before Prime Day, then offer what seems to be a discount that's actually the normal price or at times even higher. So make sure you look at what the previous pricing was, I guess. Let's see what else.
Congratulations, Latasha.
What'd she do?
She took #1 from Tactical.
Oh.
Yeah.
You see what happens
Tactical
when your back,
yep.
You can't carry your weight when your back's bad, man.
He showed up late to the party, and she got the #1 fan spot
Now,
for the
Tactical,
day.
why would you say we were assholes? I don't understand why you feel that way. We just want to live, buddy. I mean, you understand. What's up, Jay? What's up? Security theater, he said, is all TSA is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking it up online when you said that to see if they'd ever stopped anything, and it said like it was a very
vague,
cleverly worded answer of basically they've stopped weapons, they've stopped this amount of guns. It's hard to tell whether they've stopped a terrorist attack because of them it has been thwarted before it could
materialize. Let me tell you this: if you've got a gun in your suitcase and TSA finds it, you weren't a terrorist. You're just a dumbass. I mean, honestly, you got to be smarter than that. Now, if you find a plastic gun, with no metal in it, now you might be doing something.
Right, now you might be a little bit to something. Yeah.
A Delta flight's been forced to make an emergency landing in Fort Myers, Florida, officials say, due to smoke in the cabin when a passenger's personal battery burst into flames. That flight left Atlanta Monday and was bound for Fort Lauderdale. Flight attendants extinguished the fire that was contained in a bag, and then they landed at Florida International. There have been 34 lithium battery issues on flights this year.
Yeah, they're talking about those little portable battery packs or whatever.
Yeah,
I was just wondering because I got a notice with my ticket that was like, if you have a portable battery pack, carry it on you at all times.
Oh, like a power bank?
Yeah, like a power bank. Yeah, they're like, don't put it in your bag overhead. Just put it in your pocket. That way, when it blows up,
get real hot.
Yeah,
burn your leg up.
Exactly. Let it blow you up.
No, that's a great idea. Just keep it in your pocket. Put it in there with some flammable stuff.
Right. Maybe a lighter, a couple matches,
little fluid.
Can of butane. Yeah,
that'd be great.
Great combination.
Let's see.
Jay, let me know what Wise Guys tickets you want, and we need to figure out a day for you to come in and get paintballed.
Okay. Yes, please. It's hard to believe, but apparently Ozzy Osbourne and Axl Rose had never met before. That changed during the Black Sabbath show over the weekend. Ozzy shared a photo on Instagram yesterday of himself and Axl shaking hands. He captioned it, "My first time meeting Axl Rose. At my age, you don't get to meet many legends. Seriously, an utter gentleman." The day before, Axl actually posted, "Met Ozzy. Crazy we'd never met before. He was really great. It was great to meet Sabbath." Even, I guess, legends fanboy out a little bit, right? Who would you rather meet, Ozzy or Axl?
Oh, man. I don't know. I guess Axl.
Yeah.
I guess.
It'd be a hard call, but I'd probably go with Ozzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like Axl, probably Guns N' Roses. I don't know if I'd say better. I mean, I like him a lot, but I just think Ozzy's stories are going to be way more epic.
Well, maybe. Yeah. I'm thinking like.
I think Guns N' Roses stories just involve a lot of nap time after heroin.
I was really just thinking of like understandability wise.
Oh, yeah, just trying to understand the conversation. Yeah, not having to go.
I'm like, if I'm going to go meet someone that famous,
it's hard because sometimes you'll meet somebody who maybe, they have a foreign brogue and it's a little difficult to follow them. And it's a little embarrassing. Now, what did you say?
Yeah.
What was that again?
Yeah.
Huh? I'm sorry. I didn't understand. Yeah, and you might do that.
I feel like I've been doing that the whole conversation with Ozzy.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If you want to know where all the aliens are, apparently right now it's New York. Dozens of UFO sightings across New York this year. According to the National UFO Reporting Center, 68 reports of unidentified flying objects, or whatever they call them these days. The reports have come from Manhattan, Rochester, and a lot of other places. There were 6 sightings in June alone, with one person reporting they saw a metallic ball fly slightly under their airplane while flying over New York City. That would be very nerve-wracking to see. I'll be honest. If I look out the window of the plane and I see a metallic ball flying around,
right,
I'm definitely going to feel nervous.
He's going to be, yeah.
Jim said Ozzy would have to have subtitles.
See, I'm glad I wasn't the only one thinking that way. Funny. Now I don't feel so bad.
It'd be funny to have live subtitles. That's great.
One day it'll happen.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
Right.
No, you're right. Man, not good news. Flash floods along the Guadalupe have now killed at least 104 people. More than 40 still missing after the rain Friday sent the water up 26 feet in 45 minutes, which is insanity. It made me wonder, to be honest with you, and I don't know, but it made me wonder, did they seed the clouds or something? I'm serious.
Yeah.
Because, that's what happened in Dubai when it flooded there, is they had overseeded the clouds by 5 times the recommended
Oh,
amount.
I see. Right.
And it caused this torrential rain that caused a flood. And I just saw that somebody in Congress just put forth a bill that would prohibit weather manipulation.
Yeah.
So if you're putting out a bill to prohibit weather manipulation,
that means it's being done somewhere.
That means it's being done independently, not by the government, maybe, but by, it could be the government locally, but it could be other sources who are doing it, and that's concerning.
Have you ever heard of, I think it's HARP?
HARP.
Yeah, HAARP maybe.
I don't know what is it.
So let me verify that that's what it's called.
I don't know.
Let me verify.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah. Yep. So if you can find it, Jesse Ventura had this show out for. You're giving me that look, man.
Because you said Jesse Ventura.
I mean, hey. Anyways, he had this show out that was called like Conspiracy Theory or something, okay?
That's right.
And he did an episode on this research facility that's up in Alaska called HARP. Mm-hmm. And they have all these like 100,000,000 watt radio towers out, and they were saying that it could be used eventually one day to manipulate weather.
Really?
And like, if you put enough of these, if you focused the energy from these radio antennas and essentially
waves.
Right, and the waves, and formed it into a beam, you could
I could actually see that to some extent being possible. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Jesse Ventura was known as a conspiracy theorist in general. Some people would say a crackpot, but you know what?
Hey, look,
if you'd asked me 10 years ago about conspiracy theories, I'd have really.
I'm a huge conspiracy theorist.
But now I'm like, a lot of these turned out to be true. So, I mean,
Right. And all I'm saying is like I've said that because I used to love the show. And then all of a sudden it disappeared. And I was
Doggy
like,
said, press secretary says no weather manipulation in the area. Well,
of course they're going to say that.
She would say that. And again, I don't even know if they know. I don't know what they know and don't know. I mean, if you got Randy Quaid up there flying some kind of crop duster doing the weather stuff, they do from Armageddon, the drunk guy.
Right?
Yeah.
And these are the same people who were like, no, aliens.
Independence Day, I mean.
And these were the same people that were like, aliens don't exist. Aliens don't exist.
Right.
Hey, by the way, aliens exist. And we're all like, yeah, duh.
What doesn't exist all of a sudden is the Epstein list. That disappeared.
I heard about that.
I don't know what the hell.
Dude, that was just,
there was going on here. Something's going on here, and I don't like it at all.
Yeah, dude, no.
I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all.
Rainmaker, sorry. He said he sent me something here.
The Justice Department now says that Epstein kept no client list, contradicting previous claims by the Attorney General, who said such a document was, quote, sitting on my desk in February.
It hit somebody too high.
In a 2-page memo co-signed by the FBI, officials said no further records are going to be released, arguing most evidence is sealed to protect victims and that airing more files would do no good. They did post some jail footage that proves Epstein died by suicide in 2019. I don't know if it does. I haven't seen it. The memo notes that agents hold more than 10,000 images and videos of child sex abuse, but stresses that spreading unfounded theories helps no one. The White House press secretary said Bondi had been referring to the case file in general, not a specific list. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It just makes me, I don't know. It seems suspect to me.
It's a crazy article, Tactical.
What is it?
He sent me an article about and sorry, I'm...
No, this is fine. What do you got?
About the Rainmaker. So apparently in the Dallas Express, there must be a company down there called Rainmaker, because it's just a blurb. But it says, Rainmaker CEO to speak publicly amid cloud seeding scrutiny over Texas floods. And essentially the CEO of this company that apparently was doing cloud seeding came out and said, yeah, we were doing it, but we stopped our operations before the storm, and, quote, cloud seeding cannot create a storm of this magnitude. So it can be done.
Well, whether it creates a storm of that magnitude, number one, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
But number two, could it exacerbate it? Could it take an existing storm that shows up and make it 10 times worse? I don't know these things.
Right.
But I know what happened in Dubai, and that's admitted that they overseeded the cloud 5 times, and maybe it didn't create a storm, but it created torrential rain.
Right.
And they had a flood in Dubai for the first time in like forever. It's Dubai. Hello, it's a desert. Elon says Trump's on the list. I know what Elon said, but Elon's a troll.
Dude, I'm telling you. It disappeared quick.
These two kids, man, Trump and Elon, when they start bickering, it's so silly. It's like two little kids in a playground. Yeah. I don't even listen to that bullshit. We've all seen the movie Speed, where they put the tape on a loop. Epstein didn't. Right. No, yeah. I hear you on that. Yes, it can be done. They did the same over North Carolina, Andy said. Yeah, I'm not shocked. I think that there's a lot of that going on. And I'm not. That's why I'm suspect sometimes when they talk about climate change and these atmospheric rivers and all these different things going on, because I don't know who all the hell's up in there playing with the soup.
Yep.
I don't know how many chefs are in the kitchen. So it's hard for me to blame the climate and the whole world if I don't know what's in the mix, right?
I agree, yeah.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, I think there's more chefs out there than we know about, and it could be problematic.
Dude, you're not going to hear a disagreement from me on it.
Yeah, but I'm sure that it was the flood that got the Epstein list. That's what happened to it, right? All right, let's get out of that. Move on here. Emergency rooms are seeing their busiest tick bite season since 2017. July has topped the same month in past years, with the Northeast leading the surge. Children under 10 and adults over 70 visit the hospitals most often. Doctors say warmer winters let more ticks survive, so infected bugs carrying Lyme and Rocky Mountain spotted fever are spreading farther. The Fordham Tick Index now lists southern New York and Connecticut and northern New Jersey as very high risk, 9 out of 10. Yeah, well, try living here. Walk in the woods here for 5 minutes, see if you don't find a tick on you. You will. Let's see. We'll save that for later. That's interesting. Okay.
Matthew Orton said Giselle, is that her name? Giselle
Bundchen?
Yeah, he said she's in jail for trafficking to no one. I highly doubt that.
In jail what?
He said Giselle is in jail for trafficking to no one.
Oh.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah, I doubt that too, yeah.
Guessing that's in regards to the Epstein list.
I don't know. Right now I'm the connection from Giselle to Tom Brady. I'm mad at Tom Brady right now. Like, I've been a Tom Brady fan for a long, long time, but I'm very, very pissed.
Did I burst your bubble this morning,
man? I'm more pissed at Tom Brady than anybody else on the planet.
I heard that there's some rumor going around that him and Sydney Sweeney hooked up at
that's what I'm talking about. Shut your mouth.
Bezos' wedding, man.
Shut your mouth.
Saying.
Shut your mouth. Why would she want to hook up with Tom Brady?
Who wouldn't want to hook up with Tom Brady if they were a single female? Come on.
She knows I like her.
So does her security guard.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. I'm not even going to respond at this point. That was strong. That was strong right there. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, so during a flash flood in Hunt, Texas, David Fry led his extended family of 33 to safety by quickly moving them to the roof of their hotel as the Guadalupe River surged over 25 feet. Recognizing the urgency, he also helped evacuate other guests and neighbors, making sure they also reached higher ground in time. His quick thinking and efforts are being credited with saving numerous lives during the rapidly escalating disaster. Yeah, he got on top of the hotel. If you can, that's great.
I don't know if it was the same one or not, but I was seeing a lot of stories, and now, everything going on with the Texas flood. Anyways, did I hear correctly that the kids from the church camp all got rescued?
I did not hear that.
No?
No, I've not heard that.
Okay.
I'm not.
Maybe it was a different camp, though.
I'm not certain. I know there were some other camps they evacuated right after that.
Okay,
I don't know.
maybe that was it then. But
Tasha said, I like Bad Boys. He seems like he's a lame. Yeah, he kind of does seem a little square wheel, doesn't he? I mean, he seems like he'd be boring most of the time. And again, you know, greatest quarterback of all time. I get it. I've always loved Tom Brady as a quarterback, but he does seem like that kind of guy who, like if you were hanging out with some friends at a party, like he'd be the guy you'd be like, yeah, I'll be back in a second, man. I'm going to go get another beer.
right, and never talk
And then
to
you
again.
just start talking to somebody else because he was boring the shit out of you.
Oh, Orton said it was a different camp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
All right. No, that's all right. Over the weekend, a hiker fell 26 feet into a crevice while trekking on the Free Glacier in Switzerland. You see, that's why you don't trek on the Free Glacier in Switzerland. But his small dog apparently played a role in his rescue. Though the man radioed for help, rescuers couldn't locate the crevasse in the snowy terrain. It was the loyal Chihuahua who stayed perched that ultimately guided rescuers to the location. Okay, secondly, why do you have a Chihuahua on the Free Glacier in Switzerland? Third, why didn't that Chihuahua freeze to death in that period of time? Every Chihuahua I've ever known shakes nonstop anyway, like they got Parkinson's.
Maybe it's the Chihuahua that was outside that home in Michigan in the winter that I pepper sprayed.
Maybe that's what it was.
Grew up to be able to climb the glacier mountain.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
End of an era. Matt Cameron, Pearl Jam's drummer for 27 years, is leaving the band. He joined the band in '98, became their longest running drummer. He said it was his final steps down the drum river for the mighty Pearl Jam and thanked his bandmates for giving him the opportunity of a lifetime. So, yeah, he said the band called him one of our first musical heroes from his time with Soundgarden. Said he'll be deeply missed. He was inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame with both Soundgarden and Pearl Jam, and he'll leave big shoes to fill. They haven't said who will replace him. Well, I guess it's big shoes to fill. I mean, Pearl Jam, when's the last time they had a hit? I mean, 1999?
Right, yeah.
And I like Pearl Jam, or I did back then, but, I mean, it kind of got to be a one-note thing to me. No, I'm definitely saving that story. That's a good one right there. Saving that story. Okay, this is wild. This is just weird. So this sounds like something from a movie, man. Police and social workers in Uttaradit province, Thailand, have rescued an 8-year-old boy who had spent so much time with the neighborhood dogs that he barked instead of talking. A school principal alerted a rescue group saying the kid's drug-addicted mom brought him to class only once to claim benefits but never enrolled him. Left mainly with dogs outside his grandmother's house. He copied their behavior and learned their basic, speech, I guess. Responders found him communicating through barks and growls. He's now in protective custody, and specialists are working with him, teaching him to speak and deciding, what's going to happen in the future. But that's a crazy story.
That is, man.
That's terrible, but still crazy. I mean, can you imagine coming up on a kid that's barking at you?
Can you just imagine in like 10 years when he's on TLC as the dog whisperer?
I know that's
the new
right.
one,
No, he's
the
definitely going to be a hero. Yeah, you're right about that.
No, that is a horrible story, though.
It is, but that's a good point. He probably does communicate well with dogs.
I mean, dude, he's got a career made for him.
Yeah, he could probably tell you, no, that ain't what your dog's saying at all.
Right.
That dog said you're a bitch. What?
Have you ever seen the videos on TikTok of the people that have like trained their dogs to hit the buttons with phrases? I don't know how you do it, but it's hilarious, man. There's one husky on there that calls his owner a bitch like all the time.
That's
dude.
funny. Look, it says Pearl Jam's drummer came out and still don't know what Eddie Vedder's saying. Yeah, okay. Little doggy said, "Congrats to the worst band in history. The Monkees were a better band." That's hard on a Pearl Jam right there. They had a few good hits. I mean, the first couple albums were pretty great, for sure, in my mind anyway. Jim said Pearl Jam were pioneers.
I remember that one song.
Of the grunge movement for sure. They were. Do what?
As I said, I remember the one song from them from the '90s. I don't even know what the name of it
How
is.
does it go?
No, I'm not gonna sing it. No.
How does it go?
No. It's that
That one.
Maybe I don't
That's
know.
all
What
of
was
them.
okay.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, Even Flow is probably the one you're thinking
Yeah.
of. That was the one that broke out and kind of broke them through. I always liked them better than Nirvana.
Last Kiss.
Oh, no, hell no.
That was it. That was the only one I ever knew them for.
No, I don't even like that song. No, that
Neither
song
did
is
I.
trash. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, no, you don't care about that. Okay, let's just get to sports here. You're never going to make everybody happy, and it wouldn't be the MLB All-Star Game unless you didn't talk about what players got snubbed. So some of the notable omissions. At catcher, Carlos Neves from the Red Sox, he's one of 3 rookie catchers with a legit beef, along with Drake Baldwin and Agustin Ramirez. First base, Michael Busch over at the Cubs. They're stacked with a lot of people, but his weighted run created plus steal is better than all the rest. At second base, Jeff McNeil with the Mets. He's done a great job recovering from a month off from an oblique strain, which apparently wasn't enough. Third base, Zach McKinstry of the Tigers, mostly at third. He's played 5 defensive positions this season, which has been unquestionably valuable. If you play 5 different positions, it's pretty damn good. Shortstop, Trey Turner from the Phillies. He's in the top 5 in total hits, and his defense has returned to a Gold Glove level. Who else? Let's see. Outfield, they say Juan Soto. Designated hitter, George Springer. All right, and let's see. ESPN. Okay, this is funny. We'll end here. The internet was made for mocking people, and that's what it's doing. On Sunday night, baseball fans tuned into ESPN to catch the MLB All-Star Selection Show, only to find out it had been delayed by cornhole. Yeah, the drunken backyard party game event had run long. Instead of bumping it to ESPN2 or maybe the Ocho, the worldwide leader in sports opted to stick with cornhole coverage for about 10 minutes, and that, of course, led to people just beating them down on social media. People were really mad about it. But, I mean, in fairness, you'd rather watch someone pick the All-Stars than watch people play cornhole? I don't know. Little Doggy said Butterman was okay. Yeah, Butterman was a good song. Anytime you can make a song about butter, I think it's great. It'd only be better if it was about bacon, right? I mean, that's the song by Pearl Man.
Hey, other sports news, man.
Can't find a Butterman.
Tom Brady is hooking up with Sydney Sweeney, man.
I hate you so much right now. Like I hate you on such a profound level. If you're looking for a vehicle, you know where to go. Fitz Auto is the place to go. Now, you can go online at fitzauto.com, or you can go in person, 8421 Stagecoach Road in Little Rock. What makes them different? What makes them special? Well, they work with you regardless of your credit history because they're their own bank. They don't have to ask anybody else. It's up to them who they work with. And they have late model, low mileage vehicles. They're going to save you money. They're going to put you in something you can be proud of. And it doesn't matter. Sports car, truck, SUV, boat, RV, camper, amphibious units. They've got motorcycles. Anything you could possibly want on wheels and an engine, they've got it there for you. Check them out. fitzauto.com. Start there, in there. It's where you're going to go because it's the best deal. A lot of times you might not hear cool and attorney in the same line, but when I'm talking about Riggin Law, you will, because Kristen Riggin and her crew are just cool people. Going to an attorney can be intimidating, and you feel like you're being talked down to. They're talking in legalese, and it's scary. Not with Kristen. She's going to break it down to you just like I would, sit there and talk to you, kind of work it out and figure it out in the fair and right way. Doesn't matter if it's divorce or custody or if it's elder law. They do a lot of stuff to help out with court situations where you may have a family member who's died and you've got something going into probate. Man, you don't want to argue with your siblings over that. Don't put yourself in that position. That's what Riggin Law does. They'll help you work through the probate and all of that. If you've got a custody issue, even a criminal issue, it doesn't matter. Kristen can help you. And man, they are an amazing group of people. You can give them a call, 249-1289. It's 249-1289. Or just go to rigandlaw.com and tell Kristen we sent you.
Ever had someone in your life who's just out to hurt you? Then this is for you. Your head is a refinery, producing hate at large scale. Pipeline from your Dead Sea, every time you exhale. No spitting and spewing, you're pumping wide open. Credit for what you're doing, that's a metric ton of shit talking. You're a factory owned by evil, manufacturing pure misery. I'm here to say thank you because your hate fuels me. Outselling the narrative, get ahead of the storm. Hey, right. But it's really not comparative. Ain't it really day and night? And night, working overtime to stain every facet of my life. You smile at my pain with every turn of the knife. You're a factory owned by evil, manufacturing pure misery. I'm here to say thank you because your hate fuels me. The votes are in, or so you think. You're gonna win, it's been inked. But what happens if your platform sinks? This can end, you just gotta blink. You're a factory owned by evil, manufacturing pure misery. I'm here to say thank you cause your hate fuels me. You're a factory owned by evil, manufacturing pure misery. I'm here to say thank you because your hate fuels me.
Yeah, that'll get you going right there.
Right.
For sure. What is going on? It's Patrick and the People. Please add us on YouTube if you haven't. We're trying to get that number up to a solid GER, and we need some help on that.
Yeah.
I see that the bots made it into the chat. That's always
Good morning, bots.
Good morning, bot. Best viewers on stream.
Hey, dude, it's only going to be a matter of time before, like, your AI robot also tunes into Patrick and the People for
yeah.
you, so it
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
you know, stay up to date on.
Give you the updates, text
Right.
you what's going on and
Exactly.
whatnot. That'd be kind of cool. I will tell you that on a completely left turn serious note, that I mentioned the other day this app called Ash, and I'm telling you, man, if you are a person who maybe you're not somebody who maybe your schedule doesn't let you go to a therapist. You don't have time. Maybe you don't have the right insurance. Maybe you don't have the money. Maybe you're just not comfortable really going and talking to another human being for
Right.
some reason about the deepest, darkest shit that's bothering you or whatever. But this Ash app, it's completely free. There's no upgrades. There's no premiums. I don't think there's anything that requires you to spend money that I'm aware of. But it's really phenomenal. You can choose to type to it and it types back, or you can choose to talk to it and it talks back. It's got 5 different voices. This is unsolicited. I'm not in any way, endorsing or representing them or paid by them to say this. This is just what I stumbled across. And because I was looking for something like that, because everybody's been talking about, how they're using these different AIs
Right,
for
like
things like that.
ChatGPT, and absolutely.
And I was like, man, I would like to do that. You
Right.
know? And I have to tell you that there have been at least 3 times where I just went, well, God damn, that's a good idea.
Right.
Damn, man, why didn't I think of that? It's such a good idea. And it's just, it makes suggestions about, it's very conversational. It's just like talking to a person.
Right.
I mean, seriously.
It really is, man. I know you had talked about it for a couple days, and
Yeah.
this is probably, about a week or so ago
Yeah,
now. And it was just one of those things you had mentioned off air,
Mm-hmm.
but I had gone home and kind of, I locked that in the brain of, hey,
Yeah.
I need to check that out
Yeah.
because I have been to therapy before.
Sure, me too.
It used to be, and not that there's anything wrong with it,
No,
and I found it
I think
very
everybody
beneficial.
should go, actually.
Right. And there's different kinds of therapy, man, really, when you think about it and you get into it. Like, therapy doesn't even have to be going and talking to someone. Therapy can just be your hour that you spend at the gym
It could
beating
be
up a punching
self-care.
bag.
Yeah, it
And
could be self-care. It could be just getting out that aggression somewhere healthily.
But I did try out the app, man, and, like, I was pleasantly surprised by it.
I mean, did you find it conversational?
I did. I found it, yeah. Oh, yeah. I found myself having, like, just randomly, especially during, lulls in the day or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I'd click it on and, an hour would go by and I'd be like, oh, my God, like, hey, I got to go, like, do
Right.
this thing or whatever. But, yeah.
It was cool to me because it's insightful.
Right.
It's pulling from everything there is that it's got because it's AI.
Absolutely.
But not only that, another thing I like about it is that right after you complete a conversation or a session, whatever you want to call it, it generates kind of this
It, like, analyzes
like a
it.
report,
Yeah.
and gives you notes on everything you just talked about and what your bullet points are of here are the things that maybe you're going to be working on, focus on the ideas that we talked about,
Right.
and so it's
right.
like a little roadmap. And I just thought, man, that's really cool.
It is.
Yeah. All right, Joey, go help keep people alive, man. We appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for being here. Tactical Turkey said range therapy. Yeah, no doubt. That is therapeutic. I'll be honest with you. It is. When you're shooting targets, that's very therapeutic.
I'm not going to lie. It did piss me off the other day, and I haven't used it for a minute. So, yeah.
The app did?
Yeah, the therapy
Why did
app.
it piss you off?
Because it kept I was driving and it was just me in the car, and I was like, oh, this would be a great time to like hook it up to Bluetooth and just get to my destination and have a little session,
Yeah.
And the technology wasn't there, man. It kept interrupting me. I'd be talking, and I'd be like, so what I'm thinking about is blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like,
know what it
so
is.
what are you thinking about? And then I'd be like, I'm trying to tell you. And then finally I was like, just shut up and leave me alone. I'm driving.
I had
really.
a similar experience, and I figured out that there was a delay if it connects to your Bluetooth, like your radio.
Yeah.
And it's doing that. There's this minor delay.
Okay.
And so it doesn't hear you for a second, and it thinks you're not responding. So it starts to talk again.
Okay.
So when I took it off of that, I said, all right, let me just put it back on the phone speaker only.
Right.
And it was back to normal
It
again.
was just fine again.
It's that there's some just enough gap in that Bluetooth signal delay.
Right.
That it causes it to think, oh,
Okay.
I got to fill this space.
Well-
So try it without that and see if that.
Maybe I'll try. Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say maybe I'll try it again because that day, then I started driving, pulled off to the side of the road, and started looking up a anger management AI one. And
Right, you had to look up a second app to deal with your other app, right? Mitchell said, I tried to tell my woman I had her therapy, swinging. She came after me with a spatula. Yeah, that's what's going to happen when you say some crazy shit like that. Yeah, no, that's probably not exactly the... Yeah, no, if I said that, I'm not even sure you'd see me again. I probably wouldn't even have... I wouldn't be
dumb
here.
ways to die.
That's exactly right. No, I'm a dead man if I do that. So let's see if we talked about this. Yeah, we did. So I'm done with that already. Okay, so this one is interesting. I guess this is it says cool is cool no matter where you are. But new research suggests a study involving 6,000 participants from 12 countries asked them to rate the personality and values of people they think of as, quote, cool. It turns out people who are considered cool have surprisingly similar traits even if they're from different parts of the world and different cultures.
No.
For the study, people from countries in the U.S., Australia, Chile, China, Germany, India, Mexico shared the traits they think of for people who are cool, not cool, good, or not good, right? So people considered good are thought of as more conforming, traditional, secure, agreeable, conscientious, calm.
Okay.
Cool people are perceived as more extroverted, hedonistic, powerful, adventurous, open, and autonomous. While cool people and good people aren't the same, they share some overlapping traits. To be seen as cool, someone usually needs to be somewhat likable or admirable, which makes them similar to good people, but cool people have other traits that aren't necessarily considered good in a moral sense, like either being powerful or hedonistic. The doctor here said everyone wants to be cool or at least avoid the stigma of being uncool. And society needs cool people because they challenge norms, inspire change, and advance culture. When you were a kid, what did you think was cool?
I mean, I guess, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when I was a kid, I thought being tough was the coolest.
Yeah, I mean, kind of that tough look, I guess. But, yeah, man, it was just, I guess the tough look and the keeping up with the Joneses was I remember like when I was really getting into my teenage years.
Yeah.
Was 14, 15, 16. That was
Yeah.
just when the Fast and Furious franchise was really starting.
Yeah.
So the way to be cool was, what modifications did you have on your ride, man?
Yeah, if you had a dope car.
Right, if you had a dope car, a
Yeah,
dope system.
That's true. I had a neighbor across the street. His name was Rusty when I was probably, 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
And Rusty was a single dude, and he had a Porsche. And every time that dude would be washing his Porsche, I would walk across the street just so I could look at his Porsche and talk to him about it.
Right.
He probably got so tired of me, coming by because I would ask questions like, well, what does it do? How fast did it, because I was fascinated by it. I thought it was the coolest car in the world.
Right.
So, yeah, cars definitely would play part of
Yeah.
it. How you dress. I think when you're
Yeah.
a kid, how you dress probably is among the highest cool
Right.
points.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's people who spend money, but sometimes it's just certain people that have a style about them. They know how to put an outfit together.
Right.
The latest Jordans, Brad said, yeah, no, that definitely would be cool. That's talking about things you wear. Yeah, shoes, your shoe game.
This might
is
be a
definitely
dorky
factor.
thing to say, man, but like the Rat Pack says, you've either got or you ain't got style. It's just something you got, man.
Today I got none.
Yeah.
Not today. Normally I'd like to think I had some amount.
Because Mitchell said earlier, he was like, man, Rich, you're all cleaned up. You're looking good. The baby face goat, and I was like, no, I probably haven't shaved in a good day. It's just Patrick dressed down today to match me. So.
Yeah, I looked like a scum bum today. And so, all of a sudden Rich is shiny like a new diamond. I like that shirt. Plants are greater than pills.
Man, it's from Good Day Farms.
It is. That's a good one, man. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
I saw it. I was like, hey, remember when we had them in? That's why.
Yeah, man. We need to have them back in. They were a lot of fun.
You were talking about earlier going across the street to your neighbor's house to talk to him about, his Porsche when you were a kid. And now you're an adult and you have, I forget what his name was here with the Lamborghini.
Yeah. Matt Wild.
Yeah.
And that's probably part of it. Matt has a Ferrari, a Lambo. And
right.
It's like, yeah, no, that's
you
cool.
You grew up and so did the person you talked to about their cars.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I love cool cars. Talking about cars, I get excited. I used to love going to the auction to bid on cars and try to buy them so I could flip them wholesale. Yeah. That was probably one of the most fun things I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
There's a thrill to bidding on things like that, and when you win it, because you go out there before the auction and you drive them around, you check them out,
so you kind of find one that
and you get to drive them all, see what you think, and I remember driving that very first one I bought. My dad got mad at me, but I did make a lot of money on it. But was that Trans Am. And I was like, this is a dope-ass car, man. So dope, man. It was the Smokey and the Bandit version, and it was just so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. I didn't even really want to sell it. I wanted to just keep driving it. I just couldn't afford it. My pocket wouldn't let me keep it, you know. Let's see.
I went to a police auction one time.
Did you?
That was the most I've ever done as far as auctions.
Were they auctioning off old cars and stuff?
Dude, everything. It was
Yeah.
crazy. It was cool, but it was they had
Old handcuffs,
that man.
batons.
Yeah,
Ones
with still a little bit of blood on it.
Yeah. What all were they auctioning?
They were auctioning off computers. Was a big one.
Okay.
Especially like recently retired equipment from the police department.
Okay.
Light bars, especially like spotlights and things like that. They did have a couple cars.
Yeah.
Jewelry, mostly things that could be seized or something, like assets that could be seized in a crime, and then have gone through the evidence process. The people are either dead or in jail for the rest of their life, so they sell off their shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw this, and I know that everybody's tripping about this already, but
What did I do to you, Tactical? My goodness.
says that these disposable e-cigarettes, also known as vapes, may present a greater danger than traditional cigarettes. According to University of California, they found the levels of several toxic heavy metals in illegal vapes could present a high cancer risk. They used a special instrument to test puffs from 3 popular brands, Elf Bar, Flume, Pebble, and Esco, that are not FDA authorized for use in the U.S. but are widely sold. 3 heavy metals, lead, nickel, and antimony, were detected in all of the heavily flavored and lightly flavored devices tested. These metals are carcinogens. Now, I know that cigarettes are full of carcinogens, but it's crazy that all of a sudden vapes are, they say could be even worse.
They've been saying something about vapes ever since the day they came out, man.
Yeah, no, that's true. They have, but now they're going to be gone for the most part, right?
I mean,
I guess at least in their current form.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think's going to happen? I mean, you're a vape guy. What are you going to do?
Well, are you talking about the THC vapes?
Well, no,
because they're still going to sell Juuls and just nicotine vapes, right?
No, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, not anything flavored. Let me put it like that.
Well, okay.
So I mean,
so they're just going to go basic tobacco and
flavor and menthol.
Yeah,
I guess. I assume that's what they're going to do.
Right.
And I don't know how a vape shop. Think about a vape shop.
Oh, vape shop is out of business.
They're toast, man.
Yeah, they're done.
Yeah, I got regular or menthol.
Right.
What's the other guy got? Regular or menthol.
Right.
Yeah. No, we only need one store for that. Jim said, lead.
Yeah. I stopped at a store yesterday that said, I was talking to them about it. I forget which store it was, but about the Delta 9 vapes and everything.
Because those got popped too, didn't they?
Yeah, those were the big things that got popped. That's why I'm like, I haven't heard about tobacco vapes.
Oh, yeah.
I know that the Delta 9, they came through and took them all off the shelves.
No, it's definitely, they've got 2 weeks, I think, to be done with all the vapes.
But she said that a lot of them are just kind of sticking their stock, boxing it up and putting it in the back because they're going to try and overturn it in a couple months.
Oh, yeah?
So, I don't know.
Okay, so they think that they may bring it back.
Yeah. She was like, just hang out and watch it. She's like, I heard they're going to try and, file or sue or something in a couple months against that. So
really,
which it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, you literally just put how many people out of business?
I mean, that's what I was going to say. It's a lot of industry there, and it's a lot of money. Now you got billions.
Right.
Weren't they trying to ban menthol recently? Probably, but they backed off of that.
Look, at the end of the day, how long have they said cigarettes are bad, cigarettes are going to give you cancer, cigarettes are going to kill you? How long have you heard that for?
As long as I've been alive.
Me too.
And they do.
And do you still smoke a cigarette? Okay, I still smoke a cigarette.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I do.
I didn't mean to call you out there.
No, it's just fine. I appreciate it.
No problem.
But
my point is, look, people are going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whether no matter how much you complain about it or not, I'm kind of tired of hearing about it.
Here's the thing is, look, I mean, yes, cigarettes will kill you without a doubt.
Right.
Or at least they will hamper you to a point that it could lead to your death.
Right.
However, if we're
You
being
could
honest,
also get hit by a
if
semi
we're
truck.
being honest, it's probably one of the slowest, longest processes. You know, it's not like you just start smoking cigarettes today and tomorrow you have cancer.
Right.
You know, it's like when you get into the 60s and 70s that
Right.
it shows up, you know, or later. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not minimizing that. I'm just saying, how do folks in other countries live while smoking if they're that bad? I don't know. I mean, look, there's lots of smokers who've lived long time.
This is what I've said. At the end of the day, you don't know what it is that's gonna do you in. You don't know what's gonna end it for you. Could be something natural. Could be you walk out, get hit by a semi truck. Could be cancer.
Yeah.
You might as well enjoy it while you're living it, man.
You know, I've made that
if
argument
cigarettes
before.
are your thing, then that's your thing.
I've made that argument before, and to some point, to some extent, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
But obviously, anything I can do that improves my health is a good thing. You know, if I can breathe better, I can sleep better.
Right.
I can run, I can jog, I can, you know, not get winded walking, things like that.
Right.
You know, and there's nothing. There's nothing redeeming about smoking cigarettes other than for some reason we like it.
Yeah. Oh no,
You know?
absolutely. Like if you want to quit, all the more power to you, man. Go for it. But on the other hand, like all I'm saying is, what do they hope to gain from this? Besides, we all know the dangers of it.
No, that's true.
Just shut up and let us enjoy it.
They've done everything they could, shy
Right.
of putting something on the pack that yells at you.
Right.
I mean, beyond that, they put literally a warning on the side.
That says,
You know, warning: cigarettes cause cancer. And
Right.
Da da da, and make your babies this and do that, and you know, make your junk small or whatever they put on there. You know, and you're like, yeah, I don't care.
what if like at the end of every cigarette, like a little flag popped out? And it just had like, congratulations, you've just taken 15 and a half minutes off your life.
You know, I used to hear that bullshit. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
true either.
No,
you know,
I don't either.
Look, she says, so-and-so says they've been smoking since they were 16. They're 61 now and hasn't died yet. Yeah, I mean,
That's what I mean, though.
Yeah.
Like, and I've had that. I had my parents had a family friend that never smoked a day in their life. And they, boom, walked in one day to the doctor, get a checkup, stage 4 lung cancer.
yeah.
You know, never smoked a cigarette
Yeah.
a day in their life.
I mean, you'd say the vapes give you popcorn lung.
Yeah, I've
and
heard
you
that
can't
too.
get rid of that.
And, you know.
See, people have to go back to the healthy stuff, cigarettes.
Right.
Oh, shit, that's the wrong thing.
I was wondering what you were doing.
No,
I was
no,
like, geez,
no.
it's 7:30,
I
man.
was excited. You know, I messed up.
Ready to get out of here already?
No,
Jeez.
no, not at all.
Through the rubble I rise, after being Until then, well, take care. I know how you want it to be. I know exactly what you expect. But if you're out and see me, you better damn well come correct. You better damn well come correct. Come correct. Through the rubble I rise, after being left for dead. And now I'm looking for trouble. All my gauges are red.
That's right. There's always something new in there. Look at Jim. He said, "Oh, I quit smoking. Now I use the Zen pouches." Yeah, okay.
See, it's always.
You quit smoking, but you didn't quit dipping. That's isn't that what that is? Really dipping?
I guess so. Yeah.
It's just
Doesn't
in a
Bundy
little
use
protective
those?
bag.
Yeah.
It's like we used to call them skull bandits when I was a kid.
Okay. I
That
remember
was
they
for the
were.
weak sticks. They couldn't handle the real skull.
I remember when they came out with the Campbell Snus packs or whatever they were called, and they were
What?
those little things. They were
Yeah.
called like Snus or whatever.
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about this because I think everybody has a take on this. And I'll ask the question and then I'm going to share this data with you. But do you think it's okay to be rich? Not Rich Rockwell. Everybody knows it's okay to be Rich Rockwell. There you go. You can see us better that way.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Everybody knows it's cool to be Rich Rockwell. But I'm talking about wealthy. Is it okay for someone to be extremely wealthy? According to this, people in wealthy or more equal countries are more likely to view having excessive wealth as morally wrong, while those in poorer or less equal nations tend to be more accepting of it. Moral values like equality and purity. What is this saying?
Money is the root of all evil.
Yeah, something like that. The phrase filthy rich may have psychological roots. People who prioritize purity often view excess in money, pleasure, or even happiness as morally degrading, regardless of how that money was earned. Basically, this study just goes on to go into elaborate detail about, why it could be immoral to be wealthy.
Right.
It says that researchers identified specific moral values that predict whether someone will condemn excessive wealth. People who prioritize equality and what psychologists call purity more likely to view extreme wealth as wrong. So what is extreme wealth? I mean, I think that's also in the eye of the beholder, right? I mean, millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire. I mean,
Right.
What is extreme? It is popular for people to dislike the wealthy now, or to think that it's morally wrong, or to be mad about it. What do you think about that? I mean, as far as people with money, does it bother you to see someone who's got $1 billion?
No. Yes and no. Like, I think it has to do with the attitude of the person, because again, that you can't not say money is not the root of all evil. The
love of money,
right,
is
the
the
love
root
of
of all
money, right.
evil. Yeah.
And there are people out there that say, "Oh, well, money can't buy everything," and hey, I say, man, I'd sure like to try it out and find out for myself.
Well, sure. I would too. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it has to do with the with the attitude and how that person that has that money really presents themselves. If they're humble for it and they're grateful for it and they realize, they look at it and realize, yes, I'm blessed to have this amount of money, but there are people that aren't as fortunate as me.
Right.
Then I think they're probably looked upon more favorable. You also have the other side of that equation where the people that have the gazillion dollars and oh hey, I'm gonna go build a $100 million shuttle to go to the space for 10 minutes,
Right.
and you're like, man, I could think of a lot of better ways to spend $100 million besides flying up to space for 5 minutes.
But you also have people like Warren Buffett who are giving away $60 billion.
Right.
You have people like, I don't even really like Bill Gates, but he's given most of his money away.
Right.
Right. So, the first question I ask is the people who say that they disagree with it, that they have a problem with it. If they became rich today, if they became wealthy overnight, would that change their state of mind? Would they change their opinion of that? Would they immediately give all the money away if they got it?
Oh, absolutely not.
You know,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And so I think that it's popular to hate rich people when you're not in a position you'd like to be in.
Right.
You know, but is it fair to hate them for that? I mean, isn't that the American dream, is to hit it big? You know, I mean,
I
look,
don't think so.
look, all the celebrities you worship out there, they're all rich.
Right.
And I mean, they're ridiculously rich. They experience things you'll never know.
Right.
Most likely.
Right.
Most of us won't.
But hey, flip token, you're going to experience things that they never know.
No, that's true. Your experiences are textured differently.
Right.
And look, I've met lots of rich people who have problems just like everybody else does.
Right.
You know, it's not all, you know, cake and ice cream. It's just easier to digest when you don't have to worry about you losing your house.
Right, or
your
your
lights
electricity
on.
getting turned off.
Getting some gas for your car, or
that's
making it to work on time. You know, those are the things that really, that's when it gets into your feelings. You're like, man, screw these guys.
Well, and I think that's where a lot of the animosity comes from, is that, you know, you don't have to, you have $1 billion. You have somebody go to the grocery store for you.
Sure.
You don't have to sit there at the aisle and go, do I buy the Highland milk or do I buy the Great Value milk, you know?
And you know what?
Absolutely.
You're mad because you can't.
Right. That's exactly
That's
it.
the fact.
That's exactly it.
You know, and I'm not saying every rich person's a good guy or a hero or anything like that. I'm just saying that
but look,
they're not really villains, are they?
I believe if you're in that situation of being somebody that, in whatever profession it is, whatever, if I was going to get into realty, and I don't just say this because we're always promoting you and everything, but if I wanted to get into being a realtor, and I'm just starting out, and I'm looking at, okay, who's somebody that would be considered successful that I could talk to?
Yeah.
I'm going to come talk to you. Now, if you look at me and I come and knock on your door and I say, hey, Patrick, I see, you know, you have, you know, X amount of six-figure income of sales or whatever.
Yeah.
Teach me what you do. And you just laugh it off and make some asshole comment and kick me out the door.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, dude's a bastard.
Yeah, I think it would be nice if everybody who, you know, had wealth, you know, did more positive things.
Some type of teaching,
But I think that a lot of that is starting to happen now. We've talked about it before. By the way, Mistress Mayhem said she works in nonprofit and that it's the wealthy people that keep them going. You're right. I mean, wealthy people donate more to charities than anyone else does, and so a lot gets done that way. But, you know, again, if you wake up tomorrow and you're rich, are you going to be mad at the rich people?
Right.
And I'm not, you know. Now, sometimes you see people and you think, oh, man, I mean, you could do more, right? You could do something with that.
Yeah.
But also, you look at Mr. Beast, you look at Jimmy Darts, you look at all these people that are starting out there doing these things more and more and more and more and more. And you look at, I'll tell you what, I watched a reality show yesterday, started watching one called Battle Camp. It's not that great. It's okay. And I may finish this season. I haven't decided yet, but it's on Netflix, and it's all reality stars from the Netflix shows, different reality shows on Netflix, The Circle, this, that, the other, right? And all of those folks, when they showed up there, were just like you or I. They were just regular folks, right? And now here they are on this circuit, you know, on this show. Now, are they rich? Probably not, but they're making pretty damn good money.
Right. They launched themselves a brand.
And that's something that's unique to the time we're in.
Right.
Where that regular Joes become famous or wealthy overnight,
right?
Because of the internet and things like that, you know. And the other thing, and I'll say this, and I will swear by this: if you have a more socialistic mindset, where, well, it's not fair that somebody, you know, gets to grow up in a different situation with a different life and have more than I did because their parents were better off, or their parents, you know what I mean?
Right.
But if I took every dollar on the planet, every single dollar, and divided it up equally amongst every single person,
Right.
within 2 years, it'll be way worse than it is right now.
Right.
I swear to God.
Oh, yeah.
People will kill themselves. They'll drug overdose in high numbers.
Right.
They'll gamble their money away. It'll be more lopsided than it's ever been in history.
Look at what happened with when the stimulus checks came out for COVID and everything. That's a perfect example.
It is a perfect example because what happened?
Everybody went and blew it.
They went and blew it on bullshit.
Yep.
They bought cars, they bought this, they bought that. You know, they had themselves
I can't tell you how many TVs I delivered working for FedEx during that time, man.
Absolutely. People were spending that money. They couldn't wait to spend that
And how
money.
many stores were running online digital sales during that time, man? Come get your 85-inch TV for $300 on,
They couldn't wait to give that money, put it into some bullshit.
Right.
And I'm not saying that your TV is bullshit. I'm just saying that in reality, that's what happens.
Right.
Most 90+% of the people that got any money during that time, you think they saved it?
No.
You think they put it in stocks?
No.
You think they invested it wisely?
Of course
no,
not.
They bought toys. They bought drugs. They bought sex. They bought whatever they could buy that they don't normally get because that's what happens, right?
Right.
I mean, honestly, isn't that what happens?
Yeah. You go and blow it.
You get rich. You want to buy shit that makes you feel good.
Right.
It's kind of a feeling that you're buying.
Right.
I want a boat. I want this. I want that. Tasha said I saved it. Okay, you
are the exception to the rule.
You are the exception to the rule, Tasha, because I promise you, I know several people who didn't save it.
I blew it.
I know people who got very large checks.
Right.
And blew it, went through it. Now I know a couple people who used it very wisely.
I mean, now we used it for
sure,
whatever repairs, like clothes. Went out and did some updated our wardrobes a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why my wardrobe usually looks like it's about 4 years old. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I felt like even though we blew it, I felt like we spent it on wise things. But again, you're right. I didn't save it. I didn't invest it. I didn't put it back to grow anymore. I went and spent it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think too, you look at somebody who gets rich, quote, overnight. Let's say, for example, lottery, but let's say, let me use me as an example. I'm not even in the ballpark of rich. I'm not even well off. I'm firmly in the middle class, okay? But let's say tomorrow, this show blew up like Rogan, right? And
we all got $1 million deals.
Yeah, in a couple years,
right?
I've got a $50 million contract,
right?
Am I a piece of shit? I mean, I worked for 20 plus years to build
you achieved
that, right?
It,
I mean, I did pay my dues for that,
right?
I did work hard for that, right? So, am I entitled? I shouldn't say entitled. Is it okay for me to enjoy the fruits of my labor?
Absolutely.
Or do I have to take that money and immediately give it to someone else?
No.
I mean, now I personally would love to, help others.
Right.
And that would be my passion if I were to become wealthy.
Right.
There's nothing more I'd like to do than help other people.
Right.
And Laura and I have talked about that many, many times, that if we were wealthy, we would not be wealthy long. Just enough to keep ourselves where we need to be, pay everything up, and
live
the rest of it we'd want to do positive things with.
Right.
In different ways.
That's a very good goal.
In different ways. But even if I didn't, if I just wanted to buy sex, drugs, whatever it was, I mean, I worked 20 plus years to do it, right?
At the end of the day, as long as if I come up to you, I say, hey, man.
Yeah, can you help me?
Can you give me the map that you took?
Yeah.
Can I try it out? And you say, yeah, sure, man, here's the steps.
Yeah.
Then whatever, man. Yeah, you worked for it.
Jay said he paid medical bills with his STEMI check. That's good. Brad said he put it towards debt. That's also good.
Right.
Those are both great, And I do think, my sons, they had a better life than I did as a kid, so there's a positive there for me.
Right.
But it wasn't a rich, wealthy life. They had what they needed, but they weren't rich. They weren't walking around rich or anything like that.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. Oh, look here. Jim said, Mistress and I started with nothing but an old TV and a Super Nintendo, one phone, one car. 14 years later, we're at a point where we can live comfortably due to being frugal in the beginning.
Yep.
Well, there you go. again, some people though might all of a sudden go, "Oh, you're rich."
Right.
But really what you did is you invested in yourself for a very long disciplined period of time
Right.
in order to create this situation. I wish I had done so. I failed in that aspect in many ways. But, and that's the other thing too, is people are resentful because they don't know how to get rich.
Well,
That's the number one resentment is why can't I do it too?
right.
I'm smart enough to be rich, right? But
Are you disciplined enough?
Are you disciplined enough? Are you pursuing the knowledge? Is someone willing to give the knowledge?
Right.
Sometimes, as you say,
Right.
people, and the other thing people get mad at is greed. When you're bilking people out of things,
I cannot tell you the amount of times, and I'm going to make this relatable to my announcing career, but I can't tell you the amount of times, I did it with you, that I've gone up to, anytime I'm at a show or an event, see somebody, start talking to somebody, hey man, I'm always constructive criticism. Please give me any feedback you have for me on my announcing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Did the same thing when I met Ron Simmons, a.k.a. Farouk, One thing that I've learned, that's how I've had that has been my roadmap to get me to where I am now. Because there is no, if you do A, B, and C, you'll climb the ranks as an announcer. It's just getting wherever you can be.
And sometimes you see people, that's another reason people get resentful is they fall for these things where, here's how you get rich, do this.
Right.
And then they find out it's
not
only
accurate.
making the people at the top rich.
Right.
And like you think about a lot of these multi-level marketing organizations. And I'm not saying you can't become rich doing it. It's not very likely.
Yeah.
The early people in it get rich. The early people who jumped into things like Amway or Avon or, what's a current one maybe that's out there. If you jumped in it early, you got rich.
Right.
You got money. But the rest of the people are just out here trying to sling some cologne and shit for nothing. My mom spent 10 years slinging Avon for nothing.
Yeah.
What did she get out of it? Some free perfumes
makeups
that weren't really that good.
Right. Yeah.
It kind of stunk, to be honest with you. I'm not saying they're all bad, but those were, This Turkey said, people always label me as rich, but I'm 1.5 million in debt from building this farm. I'm a negative millionaire, LOL. Yeah, no, that's another thing is people make observations and don't always know the facts. Just because you have a lot doesn't mean that it's going good or it's easy.
Right.
That's another point is people will judge you. I don't think it's morally wrong to be rich, but I will share this with you, and this is the kind of stuff that you're going to hear, and you go, well, you man. Okay. I brought these in together on purpose to take you one direction and pull you another.
Of course.
Yeah.
Playing with our string.
Denise Richards. A lot of people probably know her. Actress for a long time. She was in Starship Troopers, and she was naked. And that's not relevant, but she was. She's been very popular. Now she's been in like Real Housewives or something like that. I don't know. But apparently she and her husband have filed for divorce after 6 years of marriage. Now, in the court documents, his name, by the way, is Aaron. Aaron filed for divorce on Monday, citing their separation date as the 4th of July. They tied the knot in 2018. They don't have any kids, all right? So
he bought too many fireworks.
Richards has daughters with Charlie Sheen. And I think that's it. I think she adopted one kid, but so he cites irreconcilable differences. Now here's where it changes. He's asking for spousal support from Denise Richards. According to the documents, said Richards makes over $250,000 a month from her OnlyFans career, her reality TV show, and brand deals. Okay. He alleged in the filing that he's had no income for the last 12 months after closing his business. He says the couple spends about $105,000 a month. He estimates that $20,000 a month is spent on clothing, $18,000 a month on rent. I said $18,000 a month on rent.
Right.
Okay, $10,000 on groceries, $8,000 on utilities, $15,000 on eating out,
Jeez.
and $15,000 on entertainment. And of course, he wants to live the way he's accustomed to living.
Of course.
So he wants Denise Richards to pay him money so he can continue to live comfortable through his transition. Yeah, first of all, I'm going to call bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, no, get your ass out and go do your thing, man. You know, you what do you need our money for?
Pause.
What? What did I say?
Flip the reverse. Flip it. Would we be having the same conversation
No,
if
we
it was
wouldn't.
him making and her asking
No,
for the?
I didn't say it was fair.
But I am now. I'm. Why? I mean, it's fair, man.
Okay, fine, it's fair. He gave up his business,
Right.
But I'm just saying that I'm not going to feel sorry for you because you can't spend $15,000 a month to eat out.
Agree.
I'm sorry, you don't need support,
Right.
in order to eat out at the finest restaurants because that's what you're accustomed to for the past few years.
Right. Absolutely. I'm
You
not
know what?
feeling bad that you.
There were times where I made more money than others,
Right.
and I was accustomed to eating at Texas Roadhouse more often than I do
Right.
now.
Right.
But what am I going to do?
Let me help you understand something, man. That
Yeah.
$5 meal deal at McDonald's,
That's right.
it'll help you out in a
And
pinch,
that's
man.
what I
Welcome
really-
to the poor life. Keep on pushing.
That's what I'm trying to say is, look, we get ups and downs. He said, I'll say I'm in the top 1%, or she said, I'll say I'm in the top 1% of creators on OnlyFans, so I'm grateful. It's very empowering, especially for someone my age, that people still want to see me that way. Now, that I don't know that she is explicit in hers,
Right.
but she credited her husband for help curating her risque content. He's supportive. He knows what men love. He goes through the photos and says, this is good. Do this. This is what guys like.
Well, then there you go. Now he's a contributor to the job, man.
Well,
Closed up his business to be a producer role.
He closed up his business because she was making more money showing her boobs.
Hey, man. And okay, so if you have to sit here and go to work for 15 hours a day to run your $1 million business,
Yeah.
or you can sit at home and look at pictures of your hot naked wife all day while she makes
no.
$200,000 a month. You're not going to be like, you know what? I'm going to take on the stay-at-home role.
If she would give them to me, I'd do it if she wasn't rich.
See?
She's not rich now. I'd stay home and look at nude pictures of my wife all day. She ain't got to be rich. I just may not leave the house. I'll be broke. That's the problem. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, so again, they spend $105,000 a month on $20,000 on clothes.
Look, I totally get what
he
you're
don't
saying.
need. Now I understand she needs outfits for OnlyFans.
Right.
You can't wear the same outfit every day.
Right.
Unless your outfit's nudity. Right. So, but otherwise, you don't need that much for clothing. $18,000 for rent. Okay, that sounds excessive, but
Again, if you've got it, you're
no. But if you're Denise Richards,
right.
and you're a movie star,
Right.
okay, and an OnlyFans
What's
star,
up, Dubby?
you can't live in a subdivision
Right.
next to me.
Right.
Because what's me going to do? Miss Richards, hey, I'm on your OnlyFans, and yeah, you can't have that. You can't have people just coming up to your house, knocking on the door to ask you to
Could
participate
you watch
in
Billy for just a second?
participate in a raffle.
Yeah.
Can you come to the neighborhood, this and that? Can you support a neighborhood block party? Yeah,
Would
no.
you like to buy these chocolate
You
candy
can't.
bars?
Yeah, no. Did you? No.
Yeah.
You can't do that. $10,000 on groceries sounds excessive.
That does.
$8,000 on utilities is a lot. Turn down your lights or something. $15,000 on entertainment. I get antsy about spending $15 a month on Netflix. $15,000 a month on
Right.
entertainment. What kind of entertainment? Hookers and blow? What is it? Yeah. So that.
Yeah, that's excessive.
Yeah, I can see where that kind of stuff, people hear that and they feel resentful. They feel frustrated. But in all actuality, she's the one doing the work for it. She did the work.
Right.
You don't have to like it, but she did the work for it. So why be mad?
Right.
If you hit the lottery, hey, you hit the lottery. Good for you. That's a game we all play.
Right.
And they say it disadvantages poor people. Well, probably. Probably it does, because why should you spend money on that? But honestly, you could say that about anything, couldn't you?
Right.
Why should you spend money on anything unless it contributes directly to your health and well-being?
Right.
So you should only buy vegetables that are healthy,
Right.
that you probably can't
That you've
cook.
grown. Yeah.
Yeah, probably that you grew.
Yep.
Okay. And you can only
Oh,
do
where are
it.
you going to get the seeds from, then?
Well, I'm just
You have
saying.
to go hunt them down.
You know what I mean, though? I'm saying that yeah, she's earned it. And if you win the lottery, you got the bonus.
Right.
You know, good for you. I've also watched, there's a show called Why the Lottery Ruined My Life. Or How
Yep.
the Lottery Ruined My Life.
Yep.
Which seems hard to imagine, but it's true. You watch these and you're like, damn. First of all, your family sucks. Your friends and family are shitbirds. You should have had better friends and family, number one. You know, but number two, yeah, it's terrible.
Hey, though, let's not stray too far from that, because you say that, but,
What?
family and friends can change too, and all of a sudden your bank account has some extra zeros in it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Your family and friends, they're turds if they're coming at you.
Right.
And you
I
got
got
all
what
your
you're-
money.
right.
Look, if my brother, or my friend, let's say you got rich tomorrow, that you won the lottery.
I'm rich every day, man.
You are. It's truth. Every single day you're rich. The truth be told, if you got rich tomorrow, I wouldn't come to you and ask you for a damn thing.
Yeah, but I am the type of guy that
you
I
may
would
be
come
that
to
type
you
of guy.
and I would be
And
like,
that's
dude, what
fine.
can I do for the show?
And that's fine. But I'm saying that I wouldn't ask you for a damn thing.
I get that, and I
You understand? It
appreciate
wouldn't
that.
change
Right.
anything
No,
to me
absolutely.
at all. Now, if a blessing came my way, fine.
Right.
And I would be eternally grateful and thankful for that.
I've
But
always,
I don't expect you, Rich, to give me anything.
I've always said for years, like, if I ever hit it big, if I ever, got a whole lot of money, I would buy like a compound and build like all of my closest
A
friends,
cul-de-sac
right?
plan.
Yeah, and like some cool people, and just have us a little like, here's a couple 100,000, build yourself a house, whatever you
Yes.
want, Yeah, let's just call it our cool little city here.
Oh, you hear that, right? I
Oh,
know
yeah.
You do. So it must be time to do this then. We'll be back in a second. Yeah.
Have you been injured? You need an attorney with a passion for people and an obsession with justice. That attorney is Tim Reed in Little Rock. Look, they've won $1.3 million in wrongful death, almost $1 million in medical malpractice and in insurance dispute. These guys know what they're doing, but more importantly, he's not a figurehead of some kind. He's not just some person on a poster with a picture of a rig or a smile or his dog with him. This is a real guy you can text with, you can talk to, and who will take good care of you. He'll work with you personally to get what you deserve. Check out reedfirm.com, reedfirm.com, or give him a call, 777-7333.
Yeah, little Uncle Baby Billy there for you. Let's do
I don't
this.
think there was anything playing.
What do you mean there wasn't anything playing? What are you talking about?
Are we back on there? Okay.
Yeah, we're here. What do you mean it wasn't
Yeah.
playing?
I don't know, man.
You don't think it was playing?
I don't think it was. I don't think that song went out to
Really?
them. Yeah, they're saying what happened.
What happened? There was no music. There was nothing.
Yeah, because I was looking at
Oh.
the thing, and I said, "Wait a minute, it's still showing the read."
Let's see. Is it?
Do it again.
Let's do it again. Let's try it right now.
In your pocket.
But could you hear music though, Tasha, or just
It was a black screen. Yeah.
did the song play? That's the question.
And studded pocket.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Designer jeans.
What other button did you have it on a different cam?
No.
Clean, so clean. You a thick stick.
Yeah, it was dark and quiet. Yeah.
All right.
Is it really?
Well, I don't know what happened there.
Rocket got that Uncle Baby Billy. Got that uncle. Got that uncle. Got that uncle baby. Got that uncle baby. Got that Uncle Baby Billy. Go on now, nerd. Feel it in you. Go on now, nerd. Go on now, now. Break down. Bass sounds, body to body playground. Break down. Bass sounds, body to body playground. Break down. Bass sounds, body to
What's in your pocket? What is it really? Are we about to rock it? Got that Uncle Baby Billy. Spin it up, drop it down. Hear the colors, smell the sound, smell the sound, smell. Can you smell the sound? Drop it on down. The smell of Rojo, can you feel it burning? Activated my mojo. Can you taste the yearning? Taste the glow. Pop the little top, lay it on a reflection, like in a barber shop, but lie in a different direction. Pop the top, pop it. Pop the top, pop it. Pop the top, pop it. Pop it, pop it, pop. We won't ever stop. Your pocket. Your pocket. Your pocket. Uncle Baby Billy. Got that Uncle Baby Billy. I'm just asking for an 8-ball and $2 million. Uncle Baby Billy.
All right. Now we're back.
Honestly, when that was playing earlier, I thought it was
Yeah.
like your ringtone or something.
You thought it was my ringtone.
It sounds like a ringtone, you know? In your
Oh,
pocket.
does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't
least
thought
that
about
part,
it like
yeah.
that. Okay.
You should make it into one.
That would be a good ringtone, actually,
Right.
now that you mention it. I hadn't really thought about it, but yeah, that's it's an interesting idea. All right, well, let's do this. This is also an interesting idea.
Listen up now, I'll tell you a story. Without a doubt, it's kinda gory. It's the worst news you could ever hear. Things just like this make you fear. Lying lunched on a dumb guy's knee, or a big hard fuck drowning some honey. Why you laughing? Why you laughing? This shit ain't funny.
It's not funny.
This shit
It
ain't
might be.
funny.
But it's not.
This shit ain't funny.
But it can be.
But it's not. And then I'm going to start with this line. A pet lion, that's where it's going to start. A
All right.
pet lion escaped from a farmhouse in Lahore, Pakistan, and attacked a woman and 2 children. Security camera footage shows the lion jumping over a concrete wall and pouncing on the woman from behind, knocking her down. A man ran out of the property with an object to chase the lion away, but the animal then went down the road and attacked kids. All 3 victims taken to the hospital with injuries, but are in stable condition.
Oh, well, that's good.
The lion had escaped from an open cage at the farmhouse after the attack. The owners quickly recaptured the lion, put it in a vehicle, and then tried to hide it. Police arrested 3 people on Friday, turned the lion over to wildlife authorities. They shockingly didn't have a license to keep the lion, which is required by law. In other news, you can keep a lion in Pakistan as long as you register it. Can you imagine having a lion as a pet in your house, man? I've seen those videos on TikTok.
Here, Muffin. Come here.
Have you ever seen those like on TikTok where, like those Middle Eastern guys will have a big ass lion just sitting around with them?
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell, man? You are way more trusting than I am. There's no way I'm ever going to have a pet lion.
I love how it says that they tried to hide it, too.
Yeah.
Like, they're all mauled to death and have all these injuries and they're bleeding everywhere. We don't know what happened.
Right. All right.
Dust storm.
From one animal to another, and this is one of those where you just go, yeah, no, this is what happens when you're, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. An Italian man was mauled to death by a bear while on a motorcycle trip in Romania. He took selfies with the animals before the fatal attack. Yeah, there's your problem. I'm taking selfies with a bear.
Right.
Omar Zen, not so zen now, had posted photos and videos of the bear encounters while riding along Romania's famous Transfăgărășan
Hey, now.
That's really tough to say.
Where is it?
Transfăgărășan?
Yeah.
Transfăgărășan? Transfagson? I don't know. The day before his death, Romanian authorities said he got off his motorcycle and tried to feed a bear before it dragged him into a ravine. Yeah, no, that's what's going to happen. Oh, let me get out and feed this bear.
Right.
Then he drug him into a ravine. Romanian news said they found pictures and close-ups on his phone of a bear approaching the one that drug him off.
He did complete his goal.
What was the goal?
He wanted to feed the bear.
He did feed the bear.
He fed the bear, man.
Bear ate well.
Goal completed.
The bear ate well. The bear then attacked him, it said, of course, dragging him into the forest while other motorcyclists called emergency services. Yeah, nobody jumped in. Nobody came and tried to fight the bear to save him. Like, nope. Not going in the woods after him. Not going to do it. Sorry. Responders, including firefighters, forestry personnel, and police, found the body, which had been dragged into a ravine by the bear, but they quickly realized they were also in danger. Yeah, she was very agitated. She attacked us a few times. Yeah, that's why nobody went in to help him.
Right.
Like, no, I'm not going to die.
We saw what it did to one.
Yeah. The bear was later shot dead. Why? For being a bear.
Right.
Yeah, they had no business shooting that bear.
For real.
To be honest with you, that bear was just living a bear life, and this dumbass gets off his motorcycle trying to catch selfies with it. It feeds it, gets drug into a ravine, and somehow the bear is wrong for this. It's like stumbling and hanging out in front of a T-Rex going, hey. Yeah, no, I mean, you get what you get, right? I mean, that's how it works. Says it comes just a week after a 19-year-old hiker died after being attacked by a bear on a popular trail in the Carpathian Mountains. Yeah, again, you're in the Carpathian Mountains
you're
as
going
a hitchhiker.
to bear home.
You're hitchhiking in bear territory. All right, let's go to this one.
I like how it was said he was at Zen.
Yeah. After nearly 2 years and a 9-week trial, a jury has found Erin Patterson guilty in the murder and attempted murder of her estranged husband's elderly relatives, 3 of whom died after eating her home-cooked meal containing poisonous mushrooms. The 30-year-old mom of 2 is facing life in prison and will be sentenced later. In July of 23, she hosted 4 guests, her husband's parents, aunt, and uncle, for lunch at her home in the small town of Longata. That's near Melbourne, Australia. It's undisputed that she served them individual portions of homemade beef Wellington. That's a steak dish wrapped in a pastry, usually paired with a paste of finely chopped mushrooms. And as Patterson herself testified during the trial, the paste contained death cap mushrooms, among the most poisonous in the world.
All right.
All 4 guests were hospitalized with symptoms following day. 3 of them died the following week from liver function and multiple organ failure due to Amanita mushroom poisoning. The sole survivor recovered after weeks in intensive care and went on to testify. The trial, which lasted much longer than expected, 6 weeks, featured 50 witnesses, 8 days of testimony, and a series of twists and turns. The main question was, did she knowingly put death cap mushrooms in the dish with the intention of killing her guests? Prosecutors say, yeah, she did, citing financial tensions between her and her estranged husband, but stopping short of offering a motive. She pleaded not guilty. Throughout the trial, her lawyers argued that some foraged mushrooms made it into the dish by accident, and she later covered up her actions, including lying to investigators about things like foraging for mushrooms, owning a food dehydrator, and becoming ill herself after the meal. Yeah, but not ill enough to really be ill.
Right.
So maybe she did her homework and said, well, if I only eat this much, I might get a little sick.
Right.
And I can throw the scent off my trail, but I won't die. It's hard to believe that if you lied about it, that you're not guilty. You know? that
Right.
you just-
I mean, that's usually, yeah.
I mean, I don't know anybody
Like-
who just forages mushrooms and puts them in a dish.
Right.
Well, they accidentally got in there. Really? Accidentally? They got mixed up with all the other mushrooms?
You just happen to know the recipe to achieve the results that you want, but you didn't go and get the items for it.
No,
Got
of
it.
course not.
Right.
Yeah,
The
no.
glove doesn't fit, you must acquit, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right, because OJ was innocent, just like Diddy is. Diddy's definitely innocent.
Right.
Right?
I invested in Johnson & Johnson, by the way.
Did you,
The
baby?
last
oil?
couple days, I was like,
Oh,
that stock's fitting their
going
eyes.
up. Yeah, it's going back up for sure. Yeah, it's a good call on that stock. That's a beautiful call. Yeah, I wish I had thought to do that. Has it spiked yet?
I don't know. I'll look and see.
Diddy's music catalog all of a sudden is going to spike up again.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, go invest in those shitty songs he made. I'm not a Diddy fan, to be honest with you.
I'm not either, man.
I
But you know,
I never was an East Coast rap guy. I mean, there's a few East Coast guys I like, but I was a West Coast guy. And,
yeah.
I was always Team Dre and Snoop. So I
Yeah.
didn't have time for Diddy. But I guess, West Coast, East Coast women beaters are still women beaters. Because Dre got busted
Right.
too for
Yeah.
beating a chick. Not like apparently that dude did. Not like Diddy did on camera at a hotel, kicking her ass in the hall, dragging her back into the room by her hair or whatever. That was,
Jeez, that was,
yeah. No, he's a real good dude.
Yeah,
Real
man.
good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glad to support
They
him.
said,
Not at all.
I don't know why all the media reported this. And I was like, what's going on here? What's wrong with the world? Because they reported, and it wasn't just one, it was multiple articles I saw where it said Diddy got a standing ovation from inmates in prison when he was found not guilty of the worst charges.
Really? Wow.
I'm like, okay, and what does that mean to me? That I'm supposed to celebrate this?
Right?
He got a standing ovation in prison? That's fantastic. It's like in a car wash with marmalade.
Right.
I mean, what are you trying to tell me, man?
That means everybody there went, he actually beat it,
he
man.
got away
Holy
with it.
crap.
He got away with it.
Right.
Yeah. Why are we celebrating? Why don't
So
we?
when even all the people in prison know you did what they accused you of doing.
I understand why are we even reporting on the fact that he got a standing ovation in prison? Who's reporting that? Why? Why do we even
Care?
Yeah, why do we care that he got a standing? We didn't used to care about shit like that. I don't care if he got a standing ovation from murderers, rapists, thieves.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. Why do I care about that?
This is why I don't watch it.
He
anymore,
also
man.
won a bonus extra hour of yard time.
Right.
That's right, Diddy. You get another hour to walk around the yard,
got a free-
lift weights, and play basketball with other inmates.
Right.
Congratulations, buddy. You get an extra serving of Salisbury steak today. You beat the charge.
Just be careful. That mushroom gravy on that Salisbury steak.
Hey, that could be bad, yeah. That could be bad. That's actually pretty good. Good there. All right, let's see. I got a couple more things before we have to go that I wanted to get
What the
to.
hell is wrong with us, man?
We're bad people. So I think this is interesting just from an economic standpoint. I don't care about the politics, okay? So don't bring your politic bullshit. A new report from the Council of Economic Advisors found that the prices of imported goods have fallen this year and have dipped faster than overall goods prices since February.
Oh, duh.
Well, I'm saying that this contradicts claims that the tariffs on all these countries would spike all the prices and they'd go crazy, right? Because that's what we were told for months on end.
Right.
These tariffs, you're going to pay for them.
Right.
It's going to cost you a fortune.
Yeah.
It may have at the fireworks stand. I'm still not sure about that. But otherwise, it says that they're actually falling. The prices are falling. The consumer price index, that's an inflation gauge. It's lower. It's steadily going down.
Well, yeah, because he's managed to, negotiate most tariffs either down to a lower level or something, right?
That's part of it, I think. I think a lot of it is the investment that is being made into companies, and I think it's that companies, large corporations, have faith that the economy is going to be good.
Right.
Investors have faith it's going to be good, so they invest more, or they invest more in a business to grow the business. You know, when you're in a time of uncertainty or turmoil, you don't want to expand your business because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
You know, so it speaks to me and says, hey, there's a confidence in the economy.
I got you.
And that's why it's still, proliferating. Now, again, you can make whatever arguments you want to make, and I appreciate that. But those are facts, and I like to deal in facts.
Right.
And when I saw that, I was like, hey, that's some good news.
It is.
I mean, honestly, I hear are bad news reports anymore. This guy's going to kill us. We're all going to die.
Well, of course.
We're not. It's Nazi time. Everybody's going to camps. Everybody's going to be murdered. You know what I mean? You hear all the worst of the worst. So
I just don't watch it.
Yeah, I don't either. I try to avoid it. I don't watch any news. I read news. I don't watch anybody.
Okay.
No, I because all of them are singing the same song.
Right. Just with
and I don't want to
different
hear
verses,
the song. Yeah, I don't like any of the singers, and I don't like the song.
Right.
So I don't listen to it. This, on the other hand, is something that is bothersome to me, and I don't understand what's going on in our world when this happened. There's no story to go with this of any kind. I just happened to see this recipe for carrot hot dogs, and it really upset me. Why are you eating a carrot hot dog? I guess you're a vegan? Or,
that's what I was thinking,
vegan
yeah.
because there's bread on a bun.
So, okay.
So you're not a vegan, you're a vegetarian,
Let
right?
me wrap my head around this for a minute.
Yeah.
You're talking like a hot dog that is made out of like a carrot base?
It's a carrot. No, it is a carrot. And you cook it on a grill or whatever, and then put ketchup, mustard, whatever relish on it. They say the texture's similar to a hot dog.
Like an actual carrot?
An actual carrot. A long
So
carrot
like a bun,
with a carrot.
a big ass orange carrot
That's been
that's
cooked.
been grilled.
Grilled or yeah, it's nice and soft now with
and you
smoke
take-
flavor or
You're
whatever.
talking about an orange, like full size carrot,
Yes.
and you just put it on a bun.
Yes. That's a carrot hot dog.
Patrick, you need an app.
You see what happened? I took a nap after I read that yesterday. I was so distraught. I gave up on the world for an hour after I read it. I went and laid
I would
down.
too. What?
My head hurt so bad. I was like, people are f***ed up, man. They're eating carrot hot dogs. What's going on in the world? Don't eat a carrot. Just
Why?
eat a carrot.
Why?
Don't make a carrot hot dog, you sick bastards.
And even like, I can understand, like, you had me at the grilling a carrot. Okay, that could be, I've had, cooked
It
carrots
says, when
before,
I'm
but-
hosting a veggie barbecue. See, first of all, don't invite me to your veggie barbecue.
don't.
I don't want to come to your veggie barbecue, okay? Good for you and your vegetable life. I'm happy for you. You'll probably die before I do, and I eat nothing but shit every day. Everything I eat is processed.
What the fuck? Just
Everything.
carrot hot dogs.
But
Yeah,
I'm
come
gonna-
on down to the neighborhood barbecue. We're gonna have
know what?
carrot hot dogs and lettuce burgers.
I'll give up 10 years of my life to never eat a carrot hot dog.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Right now.
I'm not signing up.
Screw my 80s. I don't even need them anymore. If I never have to eat a carrot hot dog, I just make to the 70s somewhere and I'm fine.
Dude, I think if anybody ever gave me a carrot hot dog, I think I'd be offended.
Bro, if you showed up at a cookout and you're just sitting there, you're
They
not
go,
even
"Hey, you
paying
want a dog,
attention."
man? Yeah.
Yeah. You want a dog fresh off the grill?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Right?
You go over there, you put your little mustard, ketchup, whatever you're going to put on it, and you bite into it and it's a carrot.
Nah, dude, I'm leaving.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna be like, what kind of sick joke are you trying to play?
We're
here,
not
man?
even friends anymore.
Yeah, no.
We're not friends now. No, it's over. You give me a carrot hot dog. No, a veggie burger.
That's what I said, man. Gonna have a lettuce burger.
Veggie burgers. I've never had a veggie. Like I tried the Impossible Beyond Beef. Remember when that was the big thing?
Yeah.
Everybody was slinging. Even Burger King had the Impossible Whopper. I don't
Yeah.
think they have it anymore.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't go there, but I'm betting they don't. You know.
I don't know. It's been-
But none of them taste good. None of them.
No.
None of them tasted like a hamburger. And trust me, if it did, I would eat it because I love hamburgers more than I'm like Wimpy from Popeye. I love hamburgers, bro. I love them. I'll gladly pay you Thursday for a cheeseburger today.
Right?
You know what I mean? I mean, I love them. So if you could make something that tasted as good and was better for me, I would eat it.
Right.
You can't. You keep trying, but you can't do it so far.
No, that's.
And a carrot hot dog? No, man. I'm out. I don't like you. I don't like your family. I don't like where you came from, and I don't like where you're going. And that's the end of that.
Yeah.
We're out.
Later, everybody.